In this video, we're going to go over the groin pain muscle and how to release it for instant relief. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Dr. Rowe coming to you from SpineCare in St. Joseph, Michigan. In this video, we're going to target the muscles that tend to cause the most amount of groin pain. These muscles include the core, adductors, and iliopsoas. So what we're going to do is focus on lengthening and, more importantly, strengthening these muscles for both quick and long-lasting relief. A note about the exercises, each one works just a little bit differently. They're going to target different muscles. To get the best results, go through them all, use what gives you the most relief. With that being said, let's get started. This first exercise is going to target the core muscles, which include the abdominals and the pelvic floor. You can do this one in bed or on a floor. Just lie flat on your back like this. It's going to be 3 separate movements, but they're really easy to do. The first one is called the pelvic rocker. So to get into position, what we're going to do is have our legs roughly hip width apart, knees bent, feet flat. Take your hands, put them off to the side of your hips. So let's start off by bracing our core muscles. It's kind of like when somebody pokes you in your stomach, how you tense up, drawing your belly button towards your spine. Mimic that and hold it during this exercise. You also want to gently squeeze your glutes. From here, what I'm going to do is rock my pelvis and my hips forward. So imagine my tailbone right here, and I'm just curling it upward like this, trying to curl it towards my belly button. You know you're doing this one right because you'll start to feel your butt lift up slightly off the bed or the floor. But the more that you build into this, the more that you should really feel the abs right here working down into the pelvic floor start to activate. Hold this comfortably for a couple seconds and then go in reverse. So you're going to take your tailbone this time around and just gently press it down into the bed or the floor. You should feel the muscles start to activate just a little bit differently. Again, hold that one comfortably for a second or two. And then from there, you're just going to repeat this over and over again, rocking your pelvis forward and backward. I like to do this about 10 to 15 times in both directions. But afterwards, see how you feel. If it feels like it's pretty loose, move on to the second movement. But if it feels like it needs some more repetitions and this is really helping out, throw in as many as you like. Just keep building into it as much as you can. So the second movement is called the butterfly. For this one, what we're going to do is take our feet and just gently press them together like this, and then you're going to take your knees and wing them downward towards the floor as much as you can. And also, don't brace your core muscles or the glutes with this one. This is more of a gentle range of motion stretch, so we just want everything nice and relaxed. But the more that you bring your knees downward towards the floor, the more that you're going to feel a deep stretch form on the inner part of the leg right here over the adductors that works towards the groin into the hips, but really focus on feeling it into the groin. Once you do feel that, hold this comfortably for about 2 to 3 seconds, and then what you're going to do like a butterfly is just wing up like this, and then just keep repeating this over and over again for about 10 to 15 repetitions. And with each repetition, really try to build into it a little bit more. Afterwards, see how you feel. If it feels pretty loose, move on to the third one. But if it feels like you need a couple more repetitions, throw in as many as you like. So the third part of this exercise is going to put everything together and offer a little bit more strengthening too for long-lasting groin pain relief. It's called the clamshell bridge. So the movement is very similar to the butterfly. What we're going to do is put our feet together like this. This time around, let's gently press them down into the bed or the floor until we feel the glutes right here, the buttocks, start to activate. From there, you're going to wing your knees downward towards the floor as much as you can until you feel that initial stretch going towards the groin. You're going to hold that and then brace the core muscles. Try to squeeze the glutes as much as you can. Your hands for this one can go on your hips or off to your side. But what you're going to do is gently raise your hips upward towards the ceiling until your body is in a nice straight line from your knees to your hips to your shoulders. I know a lot of people with groin pain are going to struggle with this position because of weakness or pain. So if you can only go up a little bit, that's okay. Do the best you can. Hopefully over time, you will gain strength and flexibility to get in this position, but you're going to feel a ton of muscles start to fire. The core, lower back, your butt right here, all across the groin into the hips, everything that helps support this whole area. I like to hold this one comfortably for about 3 to 5 seconds. Relax on the next repetition. Try to build into it just a little bit more. Try to do this about 10 to 15 times, but if it feels like you have a little bit more energy, at that point, challenge yourself by throwing in another set or 2. So now let's turn our attention towards the adductors, which are muscles that run on the inner part of your leg, and when they become strained and inflamed, they cause a lot of inner thigh pain that works towards the groin. So here's a couple exercises that are going to focus on lengthening and strengthening these muscles. The first exercise, we're going to lie on our side in bed or on a floor. So to get into position, I just like to support my head with my hand like this, have my body in a nice straight line, and I'm going to have the most painful side on the bottom. From here, this top leg is going to go over the other side's knee, just like this for support. So this bottom leg, the painful side, we're going to try to keep it straight at the knee as much as possible. And what you're going to do is just slowly raise your foot upward towards the ceiling. The more that you go up, the more that you're going to feel a deep activation of the muscles on the inner part of your thigh, but really focus on feeling it into the groin. Hold this comfortably for 3 to 5 seconds, relax, and then repeat this 10 to 15 times. And with each repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. Afterwards, see how you feel. If you feel like it's helping out and you have a little bit more energy, challenge yourself by throwing in another set or 2. But this is how we can really take it to the next level. Put our leg through different motions to find the one that's going to help the most. So let's take this top leg right here and now put it behind our knee, and take the bottom leg right here and just swing it forward a little bit, a couple inches. Hold that position and now raise your foot up. What you're going to notice is it targets the muscles just a little bit differently. This time around, I feel it a little bit more towards this part of the groin. So again, hold that for about 3 to 5 seconds, relax. What you're doing is creating an arc with your legs. So with each repetition, swing it out just a little bit more until you can't go out any further. You're going to notice that one certain spot, like let's say right here for me, just hits that tightness the most around the groin. At that point, treat it like your weak link and throw in more repetitions in that position until everything is nice and loose. So this is one of my absolute favorite groin pain relief exercises. It's really going to help stretch the adductors. What you're going to do is lie flat on your back right next to a smooth wall and get your butt as close to the wall as possible. From here, you're just going to gently press your heels into the wall and try to have your knees as straight as possible. Put your hands off to your side for support. So what you want to do is just slowly lower your heels towards the floor, creating a really big V with your legs. The more that you go down, the more that you're going to feel a deep stretch form over the adductors on the inner part of your leg, but really focus on feeling it into your groin. Once you feel that, hold this comfortably for 20 to 30 seconds. But if it feels good, you can hold it for longer. From there, just relax, take a breather, and then repeat this 3 to 5 times. And with each repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. The nice thing with this exercise too is it's going to really show you where you have the most amount of tightness. Because if you have a tight adductor on one side, you'll probably notice that one side can go down while the other one really struggles. So really try to bring everything in balance as much as you can. But this is how we can take it to the next level, engage some more muscles, and hopefully get more relief. So let's go back up like this. What I'm going to do this time around is I lower my feet towards the floor. I'm going to turn my feet outward as much as I can, focusing on moving, rotating through my hips. So let's turn our feet out and then go down as much as we can. This time around, you'll not only feel it in your groin muscles, but you should really feel it going outward into your hips. Again, hold that one for 20 to 30 seconds, and then what you're going to do is just relax and then repeat this 3 to 5 times. With this exercise, we're going to focus on the hip flexor muscles, notably the iliopsoas, which is found right here on the front of your thighs. When these muscles become strained and inflamed, they cause a lot of pain across the front of the thighs that works into the groin, even towards the lower back. So if you have a lot of groin and lower back pain, check this exercise out. What we're going to do is lie flat on our back like this. Have your legs roughly hip width apart and just raise your knees up. Have them right around 90 degrees. So my knees are just pointed right towards the ceiling. Let's start off by overlapping our hands and placing them right over the top of one side's knee. This movement is really straightforward. What we're trying to do is drive our knee towards our chest, but we're going to resist against that movement with our hands. So the more that you press into your hands and let your arms and hands win this battle too, the more that you're going to feel those muscles right here on the top of the thigh start to engage, but really focus on building into it as much as you can to the point where you feel a really good activation into the groin. Hold this comfortably for 3 to 5 seconds, relax, and then repeat it on the other side. Do this about 5 to 10 times on both sides. But if it feels like you have a little bit more energy, challenge yourself by throwing in another set or 2. So let's take this one to the next level and do what is called the marching bridge. It's kind of similar to that clamshell bridge that we did earlier, but we're going to focus a little bit more on these hip flexor muscles. So what I'm going to do is lower my legs down like this, have my legs roughly hip width apart, knees bent, feet flat. Take your hands, put them off to your side for support. Let's brace our core muscles. Again, it's like taking the belly button towards the spine, and then we're going to squeeze our glutes. From here, we're going to lift our hips upward towards the ceiling until our knees, hips, and shoulders are in a straight line. We're then going to hold this, but now what we're going to do is slowly take one leg like this, bend our knee at 90 degrees, and then try to drive that knee towards our chest as much as we can. When you do this, you're going to feel a really good activation of the hip flexors. So hold this for a second or 2, relax, and then just like a marching motion, you're going to do this on both sides. And with each repetition, try to drive that knee towards your chest just a little bit more. I like to do this for about 10 to 15 times on both sides. And then from there, I just relax. And then if I have the energy, I just throw in another set or 2. If the exercises help, please support the channel by giving this video a like and maybe subscribing too. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.